In May 1977, George Lucas introduced us to his telling of the oldest storyline in the world, good versus evil, with his Star Wars films. When the movie opened, my parents took myself and my sister to go see it. There I was, a 2-year-old boy, sitting in my first movie theater, about to be introduced to my lifelong obsession. I was 2 years old, so I don't recall anything of the experience. But my mother used to love to tell me how big my eyes would get during the famous cantina scene with all the different aliens in it. When we bought our first VCR, we were each allowed to purchase one movie with it. I, of course, chose Star Wars and wore that tape out very quickly. I still remember going to see Return of the Jedi with my cousins and a brave uncle who had volunteered to take us. I'll never forget how the film broke just as Darth Vader descended down the ramp at the beginning of the movie. It's a memory that my cousins and I still share with each other today. With the next installment of the saga opening in theaters next Friday, I thought this would be a good time to remind everyone of how great the Star Wars saga is and to encourage people to go see the movie, to brave the crowds. There have been a lot of movie franchises over the years, but there are only two that have truly had an impact on my life. The first, of course, is the Star Wars franchise, with its 7 saga movies, one standalone, and with 2 additional movies, the before-mentioned Last Jedi, and then next May we have the Han Solo origin film titled Solo, directed by Ron Howard. There have also been 2 CGI series, Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, which will end its run next year. There's also a new live-action TV show in development for the upcoming Disney streaming channel, and it has also been announced that several additional movies are in various states of development that will ensure that we have many exciting adventures for many decades to come. The second franchise that has meant a lot to me has been the James Bond movies. A lot of that is because of my father. He was always a James Bond fan, and that's something that we enjoyed doing together. I would be sitting here discussing with you that James Bond is the greatest movie franchise of all time if it were much more family friendly. While it is deserving of the title of the greatest film franchise, it just isn't family friendly, so I cannot give that recommendation. There have been 24 movies. Number 25 is currently in pre-production. There have been 6 actors to play Bond, spanning over 50 years. Like Star Wars, it has survived the test of time and audiences keep coming back. From 1977 through 1983, George Lucas produced the original trilogy, and after 1983's Return of the Jedi, Lucas told everyone that would be the final movie. The story of the Skywalkers was complete. Sometime around 1997, Lucas announced that he was ready to make a prequel trilogy to explain how Darth Vader became the big bad guy. Another 3 movies were made, and after 2005's Revenge of the Sith, Lucas once again exclaimed that the Skywalker saga was complete. The best thing that has happened to the Star Wars franchise was in 2012, when Lucas sold Lucasfilm to Disney, who immediately announced that it would make a sequel trilogy along with standalone movies. That way, the Skywalker saga would truly be complete. Famed Star Wars superfan director J.J. Abrams was the first director tapped to direct, and in 2015, myself and my generation became 8-year-olds once again as we took a look at the first trailer for the new movie. Star Wars was not only back, but this time we knew it was here to stay. It had become the family movie franchise that parents could take their children to, just as their parents once took them. Once it was released, The Force Awakens became a huge hit, and according to the website boxofficemojo.com, the first 2 Disney-produced Star Wars films rank in the top 25 of all time in box office success. The reason that I say the best thing for the franchise is that Disney bought them. It has brought fresh ideas, new imagination, and more importantly, a new generation of storytellers to fill in the rest of the galaxy far, far away. One of the critical errors that George Lucas had made with his prequel trilogy was that he had become too dependent on special effects even filming the movies digitally rather than on film. He did this at the expense of the stories that he was trying to tell. One of the first decisions that J.J. Abrams made was to shoot The Force Awakens on actual film rather than digital, and he laid the groundwork and set the tone for the remaining movies to be filmed on film so that they had as close to a look of the original beloved trilogy as possible. As Star Wars continues to grow in popularity, it has become more mature with the storytelling while staying true to that original good versus evil story. I think it's amazing to watch my nieces and nephews grow up with their own new Star Wars stories and experience a shared childhood memory with their parents, even though they're from different generations. Each year on May the 4th, Star Wars fans celebrate Star Wars Day and celebrate by watching movies, TV shows, playing video games, reading the books, anything at all to pay homage to that series that has given so much of us hope that good will always triumph over evil. On December 15th, just next Friday, the next installment of the saga will be released in the United States. Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, will become an instant hit. I encourage you to go see it, but before you do, take some time to invite Luke, Leia, and Han back into your life and travel to that galaxy far, far away.